Hi everyone, welcome to another Knitting Pastor Vlogcast. I am Heather, I am your host, and I want to welcome you to my channel. So this is, let me start with welcoming those of you who are checking me out for the first time. I hope that you enjoy what you see and that you come back and check me out again. And for those of you who are coming back, welcome back. I am so glad that you're tuning in again for another one of these crazy vlogs in this crazy time. So today is Sunday, April 19th. I'm getting this kicked off a little bit later than usual this week because yesterday was just, I don't know how to describe it. I was kind of all over the place yesterday, and recording a video was not really going to happen. I had pulled a muscle or a pinched nerve in my back and was having a lot of shoulder pain. I couldn't sleep. The pain was pretty intense last week. And so I had called my doctor, who gave me a muscle relaxer, and I took a full one Friday night, which meant Saturday I was pretty out of it too. So I did not make that mistake again. But it is helping, so that's good. I'm already rambling and I'm barely started this, so I'm sorry. So for those of you who are joining for the first time, I am a United Methodist pastor of two small member congregations in rural mid-Michigan, west of Lansing, and I live in a parsonage, which is a home owned by one of my churches with my two children, Abby and Philip, whose birthday is today. He is 10 today, and our Rhodesian Ridgeback, Flint. So welcome. What this is not a traditional podcast per se, but it's a series of shorter videos that I record throughout the week and then compile into one video that I upload. So that's what you are going to be experiencing. At the beginning of the week, I just do the beginning and the end. I do a longer video where I show you what I've been knitting and kind of update you on any news that has happened in the past week, that sort of stuff. So that's what this part is. So this past week, things got a little wild in Michigan. We had a bunch of people decide to protest the stay-at-home order by going to the state capitol and not practicing social distancing, not wearing masks, not wearing gloves, and gathering in large groups. That was pretty upsetting, actually, to see. And then they also were in their cars. So not everybody got out, some stayed in cars. But the cars had caused gridlock throughout downtown Lansing. And one of the major hospitals in Lansing is just a few blocks down from the Capitol. And so access to the hospital was blocked off. Ambulances were really struggling to get through. It was kind of awful. And I know that Michigan isn't alone, that there are a lot of states who are protesting this. And I know this is really frustrating. I get it. But it's not being done because people want to take away our rights. It's being done to keep people safe. It's being done so that the doctors and nurses aren't completely overwhelmed. It's being done so that we can save lives. I recognize that. I'm sure many of you watching this recognize that. It's very frustrating to hear all of the people who are getting angry and treating it like this is some sort of political power grab, which I really truly don't believe that that's what's happening. I have a background in microbiology. I'm familiar with infectious diseases. I know this is what works. So I'm happy to follow the guidelines because I want to stay healthy and I want my family to stay healthy. And I want all of you to stay healthy. So please follow the guidelines. All right, that done. So that happened this week. And then we kind of got some more information about the kids starting school again. The buildings are closed until June 30th, so they won't be going back to their buildings, but school will be happening in a distance format, which will be challenging. That's supposed to start tomorrow, and I don't know right now what that is going to look like. I don't know, but it's going to be happening. So we'll see how that goes this week. I have been making the kids do some bits of schoolwork through all of this, just so that they weren't being idle, but it wasn't like anything the school had assigned per se. So that's kind of where we are at right now. We are all still healthy though, and I'm thankful for that. Today is Philip's birthday though, so I'm going to be making him a cake. He'll be home later. I'm not sure when exactly he'll be home, but it won't be till later. So I've got some time to get all of that done. And I think I forgot birthday candles at the store, and I'm really debating if I need to go to a dollar store and buy birthday candles, because it doesn't feel essential, but he's 10. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll just take a tea light and stick it in the birthday cake. Maybe I'll just do that, then he has one candle at least, because I have those. I don't know, I'm rambling. Okay, enough rambling. Let's talk knitting. So I have been able to get some knitting done. I have a finished object and a half-finished object to show you. So I'll start with the finished object. I finished my Sockhead hat by, I don't remember the designer's name. It'll be in the down bar. So any of the patterns or yarn that I talk about, links will be down below in the notes on YouTube, so you can find those places more easily. So yes, this is the Sockhead hat. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's just a simple stockinette hat using fingering weight yarn that was supposed to, use up scraps, except it didn't use up as much as I thought it was going to use, but that's okay. It's completely customizable in that regard. You can make it as long or as short as you wanted, really. And it's a free pattern, and it's got a bunch of different sizes. So if you're looking for something mindless that's going to use up a decent amount of yarn, and you don't like socks, this will work. So yeah, so here's the slouch head hat. The yarn that I used is some leftovers that I had from Legacy Fiber Art. The colorway is called Candy Corn. It was part of a sock kit that had an orange mini that went with it, but obviously there's no orange mini. I would try to, I don't know if this will work because I have my hair in a thing, but it's pretty slouchy. Ooh, it does not go with this. So it's got a good slouch to it. I haven't blocked it because it's a hat, and I don't usually block hats unless there's a reason to. So that is my Sockhead hat. It'll probably go in like a donation box, if I'm perfectly honest with you, because I don't really wear a lot of orange, but it was still worth knitting, and I'm always good at, I always like to donate things like this because people need hats. So that's my first finished object. And then I finished a vanilla sock. So I have that done. Just some Knit Picks Felici. Candy Shop is the colorway. And a contrasting heels, cuffs, and toes. Knit Picks Stroll in the Duchess Heather. These probably will end up in Abby's sock drawer because this is kind of her jam. So those will probably end up in her sock drawer, but I have one finished. I have not cast on the second one yet because I just haven't. And then I started a new project because I needed, the hat was done. So I went through my Ravelry queue and I used a random number generator. And I got the Color Craze shawl by Tamy Gore. And so I cast that on using just some plain undyed yarn and then some random mini skeins that I had lying around. So this is what it looks like so far. And I will be honest with you, I am not digging this blue on here, so I am gonna rip it out. I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, it's got a little like brioche section and then this. These are the two colors that I've used. So far, I'm just using minis for this, so I'm just gonna use whatever I feel like. And then this is the yarn that is this blue, but I don't like it. So I'm gonna rip it out and put in a different color because it's just, I don't feel like it goes quite right. It's ruining the aesthetic that I really liked up until I added it. So I'm gonna be doing that probably tomorrow because I'm working on another project on the weekends. So that's gonna get ripped out and a different color is gonna go in. I don't have my other mini skeins over here with me. They're over there and I'm not gonna go get them right now. You'll see them later. So then I wanted to just flash the secret project that I am working on, and I'm just gonna flash it real quickly. I'm not gonna talk about it a whole lot because I have been working on something else, and I really, really, really love how it is looking. So this is just gonna be a really quick flash. It is a colorwork sweater. I have the sleeves done and I've started the body, and I'm really happy But it's a gift, so I'm not going to say any more about it. So that's what I've been up to in the past week. I hope that you're all well too. And I'm going to sign off for here, and I will chat with you a little later on. So I'm getting ready to make Philip's birthday cake. He came home earlier than I expected, so it wasn't quite ready for him. But we're going to make him a birthday cake. He wants a chocolate cake with vanilla frosting and Oreos on it. So we're going to make a cake. Good morning, everyone. So today's Thursday, it's April 23rd. Yeah, 23rd. And I haven't really done any real checking in, like, verbally this week. And I think a lot of that comes from, it's just everything is feeling very moment to moment. And I know a lot of you are feeling the same way. You know, some days I feel pretty okay. But other days are just kind of a slog. And it can be really tough to get through them, and focus can be really difficult and really challenging. Yesterday was kind of one of those days. I managed to stay busy all day, but felt like I didn't get anything done, and focus was just really kind of a challenge. This week has presented new challenges with the kids doing distance learning from school. They have needed more help with their schoolwork as we're trying to navigate new systems. Phil has never used Google Classroom before, so trying to help him just figure out how to access his assignments and turn his assignments in has required more time. Abby has needed some help with math in particular because she's not getting that direct instructional time, which in things like math and science can be really crucial. So I've been needed to help her with that, which certainly takes away from the things that I need to do as well. So getting that balance has been, I think, one of the biggest challenges this week, and figuring out what that is. I did hear last night a rumor that on Friday the governor is probably going to extend our lockdown another couple of weeks, which I don't think is a bad thing. I know we're getting really tired, right, of all of this, and we're getting frustrated and discouraged and lonely in many cases. And I don't want to, invalidate any of those feelings, because they're all very real and they're all things that I'm feeling too. But I also know how important it is to, keep this from getting out of hand. Our numbers went down here in Michigan for a little bit, and then they're starting to creep back up again. And as I live in Michigan, which is the third highest state for number of cases, we have to take it a little bit differently than, say, like South Dakota, where there's not as many cases. And so there's a lot of anxiety around that, I think, for a lot of different people. And so this week has presented some challenges. I have been knitting. I did cast on a new project that I will show you in a moment here, but I just wanted to pop on and do a quick verbal update of what's been going on. I have been trying to get just video throughout the week. It's nothing exciting because the weather has been crappy and we're doing school and we're just trying to make it through this week as best as we can. So I did want to show you just a couple of knitting things. This is my color Craze shawl, and I ripped out that blue portion and kind of added in this sort of a periwinkle sort of color. And let me see if I can get the light a little better. And I think that that was a good decision to do that, because it definitely, I think, goes with these other colors better than that blue did. The one dilemma I'm running into is I'm supposed to do another brioche section next, and I only have this much of that color left, and I'm a little concerned that I'm not going to have enough to do all of the brioche. So I'm thinking I need to switch to a different color, and so I'm just spending some time thinking about how to do that. It's a little not perfect in places, like right here. I had to, when I ripped back, I was having some trouble with those stitches, but I'm not going to worry about it too much because it's a shawl, and this sort of stuff you lose when you wear it anyway. So that's the shawl. And then I did cast on a new project because the next sock out of Helen Stewart's Handmade Sock Society came out. And these are called the Rainy Window Socks, or something like that. See if I can show you. Here we go. So this is the pattern of the sock. It does kind of curl a little bit because those are purl stitches. And I've got the leg done, and I've turned the heel, and I've just started working on the gusset. So these are flying. I just cast these on Tuesday. And yeah, you do have to pay attention a little bit more to the pattern, because it can be really easy to get it off. But it's got this panel in the center with the purl stitches, and then it's got a cable kind of running down either side. So that's what the knitting has been looking like so far this week. All right, I'm at the grocery store. I have my mask on, and I am ready to go in and get some groceries. I will say it is very eerie going to the grocery store these days because everybody's wearing masks, and it's very quiet, and there's so many empty shelves. It's all so very strange. But we do need some things for the house, and I can't really wait any longer, so we're gonna go in and get what we need to get and get out of there. So, grocery shopping in the age of COVID-19. Hi everyone. So it is now Sunday, April 26th, and I am wrapping up another vlog for the week, another quarantine vlog. Oh my. So it's Sunday now. I just finished doing my Facebook Live church services. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I don't think that ever stops being weird. It's just such a strange way to do church, but you know what? It's better than nothing, and so we're gonna keep plugging along with it. So like I said, I wanted to wrap up the vlog for the week. Again, not a whole lot to be getting up to because, again, we've been in quarantine. The kids started their distance learning this week, which we managed to get through, and so that was a new challenge. Seems like every week there's a new challenge, but we got through it. The governor on Friday extended our stay-at-home order until May 15th, so we're still looking at a lot of the same stuff. I think she did lift a few restrictions because there was a lot of political pushback, which is unfortunate that people's safety has to be determined by political pushback, but I don't know what to do. I'm going to keep doing the same thing that I've been doing to keep my family safe, so that's all I can. You can only control yourself, right? You can't control other people, and yeah. So service was good. I incorporated some music. I had one of my pianists record because she has the capability to do that. And so I included that in my services today, and I think that was a good touch, and I think that we're going to work on doing that going forward because music is really helpful to a lot of people, and it kind of breaks up just kind of the monotony of the worship, because, you know, you can only do so much. I'm limited in how much that I can do in my home by myself. So so we did that, and that was good. And now that's over with, and I'm going to do a little bit of schoolwork and a little bit more relaxing, because it's hard being a faith leader in this time, because so many people look to you for encouragement and words of hope. And so I feel like there's a lot of pressure to like make sure that I'm giving those things to people, and that can get really draining and exhausting. So I have to take my time to replenish that for myself so I can continue to give it to other people. So that's going to be what the rest of today is going to be. But I did want to show you some knitting progress through the week. So I didn't finish anything this week. I don't think I did. But I did start something new, because I forgot that on Tuesday the new Sock Society pattern came out. And I did show you this in a video earlier. And this is living in the project bag that I made myself. I think that's something I want to do today, is make another project bag, because I really want to do a little bit more sewing, I think. And I started to yesterday, but I just was having a hard time focusing on things. And so I'd like to make another little drawstring project bag like this. One that maybe stands up a little bit better. So these are, I believe they're called the Rainy Window Socks by Helen Stewart. Again, it's the third pattern in her Handmade Sock Society. And so this is the pattern that it makes. I like them. I think they look cool. The yarn that I'm using is from Knit Picks. It's just Knit Picks Stroll. And the colorway is called Rainstorm Heather, which was perfect for rainy window socks. I had this in my stash, and so it just was perfect, I think, for the sock. And so yeah, so I think I'm about halfway done with the foot now. I haven't worked on them this weekend because I'm working on my secret weekend project, which I'll flash real quickly here. Just gonna quick flash. So that's my secret weekend project, which I love, loving it. Really enjoying working on it. So these haven't gotten any work this weekend, but I suspect that they will be finished very soon at the beginning of the week, this week, and the next one cast on, because I am enjoying knitting them. And socks right now, I think, are just good things to knit because they go pretty quickly, and you know, I think things that are going quickly and that you're able to have like a product when you're done is not necessarily a bad thing when I feel like I'm getting nothing done. The other project I showed you at the beginning that I had cast on last week is the Color Craze shawl by Tamy, Gore, and I've gotten a little bit farther on that as well. I showed you earlier this week that I did pull out that blue color and added a new color in there, which I'm really glad that I did. This is the wrong side. This is the right side. So here it is. I am enjoying this quite a bit, and I think this is something that I could see myself potentially knitting again. And now that I'm you can read a pattern, but until I think you knit it, I don't think you get the full grasp of what's going on in the pattern. So now that I have knit the pattern, I think that I could knit it again and really play more with color. So I'm considering that in the future, maybe another mini skein set that I could work in here. I really, really like just the plain undyed yarn as the main color, because I think it really highlights the other colors in here. So let me show you. This is the second brioche section, which is not a big contrast, but it's very subtle and I like it. I was really afraid that I wasn't going to have enough of this periwinkle to do the brioche, because this is all that I had left of it. I think if I was to do this again, and I very well might, I think what I would potentially do is stripe this section with another color, or do like a color block sort of thing, so that it leads into the brioche a little bit better than this did, because it is kind of an abrupt lead into the brioche. Whereas like if you see up here, it kind of blends in together. So that's one change that I think I would make going forward. And maybe for any of you who are considering making it as well, I think that's something that I would consider. This is really nice because it has portions of it that are just garter stitch. So that's been kind of something that I've been working on when I've been reading or doing other things, because this you do kind of have to pay attention to. It's not so easy to work on while your mind is engaged. It's fine for watching TV or something like that, but if your mind is engaged in something else, I would not recommend working on that project. So yeah, that's another week of quarantine, pandemic time. I hope all of you that are well and that you're staying healthy and that you're staying home and doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. And yeah, I will see you guys in another couple of weeks. Until then, happy knitting. Bye.